الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون صدق الله العظيم. Ayat number 30 of Surat Al-Baqarah. We went over some of the origins of the creation of the jinn and their nature being very, very impulsive. So they became very, very oppressive, and through that oppression, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the malaika to destroy the oppressive jinn or jinnat. And they were also ordered to take all the young, the innocent, to take care of them. Amongst that group of young was also Iblis, who later on then became Shaitan. Iblis, being in the company of the Malaika, of the angels, he acquired great knowledge from them. And being in their company, a point came where also being a creation of jinn at that time, understanding the world or the dunya of that time, there were certain things that he knew that the Malaika were not of need of, or did not have any need of. And we understand this very well as human beings in our everyday experience, especially if we become expert in a field and we have to deal with those things all the time or on a daily basis. There are many things that we are exposed to that the masses are not exposed to. And because of this little bit of ilm, this little bit knowledge, that Iblis had somewhat of a little bit upper hand on the angels to some degree, a very minor degree. Iblis started developing within himself arrogance. Also, it should be pointed out that the name or the word Iblis, in Arabic it comes from ablasa yublisu iblas, which in translation means something or someone that becomes hopeless. The Iblis by nature, to some degree, started becoming hopeless, or the meaning turns into someone who becomes hopeless of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a term that is also used in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the people of Jahannam, the criminals and the sinners. وَيَوْمَ تَقُومُ السَّاعَةُ يُبْلِسُ الْمُجْرِمُونَ. And on the day of judgment, the criminals will become hopeless because they'll realize that they do not have any a'mal, any righteous deeds, and being doomed in the fire of Jahannam, so they'll become hopeless there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save all of us. So Iblis, by nature, his name was that he became hopeless of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Names have a very profound impact on people. That is why we have to be very, very careful what we call people. These names have a very, very profound impact. Words have a very, very profound impact. And this is obvious even from the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But this is also very obvious from the names that people have. We have many, many experiences. Not every case, but the vast majority of cases. If not names, then words, terms that are used. They're very, very profound impact, especially on children. I remember there was a case where I went to for the month of Ramadan to one community. So there were two brothers, they had children. They had sons. They were cousins. The one brother, his son was very, very disciplined, very, very mu'addab, you can call him. Very great character. Very in control. They were of the same age, the two boys, the two cousins. But the one boy was very, very good in character. Very well-mannered, soft-spoken, very intelligent. And his cousin, almost same age, very hyper, very ill-mannered, didn't even speak properly, very disrespectful. So some time passed, 1-2 weeks I was there for the month of Ramadan in the Taraweeh. So I asked the Imam of the masjid, I said, it's strange. And these are two brothers, both have sons, same age sons. One son is so well-mannered and the other one is. So the Imam, he told me, he said, next time they're caught doing something bad, pay attention to how the fathers react. So after a few days, children are children, so they got caught, they were playing around or something. The one very well-mannered, his father took him to the side, scolded him, but in a very proper manner. The words were that, he looked at his son and he said, you're better than this. You're so smart and you're doing something so foolish, He gave him a little, that spank and that was it. The words, they matter. The other one, his father started calling him names. You are shaitan and you are this and you are that. One after the other, word after word. And the boy also became violent. The Imam said, you see the difference in the way the fathers are disciplining their children. One father was telling his son that you're smarter than this. Why are you doing something so foolish? You're so intelligent. And the other one, he's cursing his son out. That is why the one son was so well-mannered, because it was already put in his psychology, or psychologically he was already told that you're supposed to be a very disciplined and intelligent boy. And the other one, his father was already calling him names in front of everyone, scolding him very, very harshly with very, very words that should not be used. And that displayed in the character of the boy. So words and names, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put this name for Iblis, for shaitan, from the very beginning. And that arrogance came into Iblis at that time. He thought he was the best. And he also felt that a time will come where he may become the ruler of the world. Arrogance is a very, very strange thing. Once this arrogance or pride goes into the heart, it can destroy people. It'll even deprive a person of the ilm of deen. Even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has pointed to that in the Quran as well. That even the rahmah and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be on those who have this level of arrogance or whose hearts have this arrogance. So Iblis started developing this arrogance. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the earth in the form that we have today. The water and the trees and all of the mountains and the rest of this planet. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the angels that He's going to create His Khalifa or vicegerent on this earth. Insan or man. In these ayat, in ayat number 30, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes us human beings back to our origin. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي جَاعِلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. And important was the time when your Rabb told the malaika or the angels Inni ja'ilun fil ardi khalifa. I'm going to make my vicegerent on this earth. The malaika, the angels, they already had a previous experience with one creation, the jinn or jinnat. And they understood that when that level of free will is given to a creation, when they're given extra limitations on their free will, the boundaries are stretched a little further, then the consequences will also be the same of what happened with the jinn or jinnat. So the angels, they put their reservation. This is not an objection. The malaika, they did not say, oh Allah, don't create such a creation. They didn't say that. They put their reservation. They said, oh Allah, ataj'alu fiha, are you going to put on this earth man yufsidu fiha, a creation that is going to cause fasad, that is going to cause mischief, wa yasfiku dima, that is going to shed blood. Because of their previous experience, they put this reservation that, oh Allah, this is what we feel. You're going to create such a creation that will cause such level of mischief. And they'll shed blood. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the malaika or the angels, Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know what you don't know. There are two meanings to this. One, the level of bloodshed that you have seen with jinn or jinnat, I'm creating a creation that can go far beyond that also. What the jinn or jinnat may have done, they may have killed a few hundred or a few thousand amongst themselves. Hardly had the power to kill that many at one time. How many we can kill as far as humans go? How far we have come. The level of bloodshed. The jinn or jinnat may have killed others. They would never think of killing their friends or their family. How far have we humans come? How many examples are there? Over petty little issues. These are very, very petty. And this is a reality. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling the malaika or the angels, you have no clue what kind of creation I'll be creating. But there's also another meaning to this also. Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know what you don't know. That creation will have the capacity to become even better than you. As human beings, what we understand is that there are many elements in this world that are very, very beneficial. And often a time, to extract the benefit, there are many, many harms and dangers involved. The more beneficial something is, that much harm it can also do. You take the example of vehicles. We used to have horses. There was never an accident. A horse doesn't crash into another horse. Now we have horsepower. How much benefit? In one day, how many hundreds of miles you can go. For horses, you couldn't go this far. They would get tired, you would get tired. It was a whole different system. Now, you have horsepower. Not only that, you have luxury. Now, how much benefit? How much luxury? You can travel for hundreds of miles and not even realize the temperature outside. You can go for hundreds of miles in such comfort you won't even notice the journey. And yet how dangerous. The engine can explode. How many dangers on the road. How many people die in car crashes every day. And just take our city. Or take our state. How many people, how many car crashes, how many accidents, how many people die every day. How dangerous it is. How much benefit and also how dangerous. We human beings, we started research to find a way to have the best form of electricity. Now we're sitting 24 hours electricity, no problem. We experimented with various ways, the most efficient having nuclear power reactors. Now these nuclear reactors, how beneficial they are. But one of them melts, you have a meltdown. How dangerous it is. On top of that, how many weapons we've come up with. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us. That come from the same technology. How beneficial something can be. On the flip side, how dangerous it can become. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this system so that we can understand that in order for us human beings to show such level of power, that we can even become better than malaika, we also have to have the capacity of the flip side of the coin, or the opposite. That we have the capacity to become the worst of the worst also. That's how far it can go. And it's easy to understand. Now, how many other examples there are? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the other creations. They don't have this much capacity. Now, how much? You even take the most dangerous predators. How much do they kill? And they only kill for benefit. They just eat and that's it. They don't go around aimlessly killing. We don't even eat, and subhanAllah, what do we? How far we've come. So the capacity to be beneficial, you also have to have the capacity to be that dangerous or that harmful or that evil. So good and evil Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created within the very power of this human being, within this insan. Such an amazing creation Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created. On one side we can go and talk about all the sociopaths and psychopaths and how many killers there are. On the other side you can speak about people who have benefited humanity. And how many have brought so much benefit to humanity. You go on the other side, the surgeons and the doctors, even in our day and time. How many lives do they save every day? You have killers on one side, you have people saving lives on the other side. And they're human. You don't find that in the other creations. You don't find a deer doing surgery. It doesn't happen, right? But we human beings, we do surgery on deers also. Even on animals, on other creations. So this is the capacity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created within the human being. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gave us free will. He gave us the choice. If we want to, we can be wicked. If we want to, we can be righteous. That choice is given to us. وَقُلِ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ فَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, tell them, O Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this Quran, it is haqq from your Rabb. Whosoever wants, let him believe, and whosoever wants, let them not believe. Of course, the end result of both is very, very different. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us human beings as His prized creation, but gave us the capacity to go on the extremes that no other creation can go to. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was telling the malaika, or the angels. Inni a'lamu ma la ta'lamun. I know what you don't know. That what this human being will be, you don't even have a clue. And how far they'll go. As far as benefit to this creation, this earth, and as far as harm goes to the earth. How far they'll go. And we understand that at every level, the more responsibility that is given to someone, the more power that is given to someone, the more dangerous they can also be. Me and you, we may say something, it only goes so far. But you take the president of the superpower, he says something. How far it goes. They have damage control now, They have to play damage control. One tweet and ya subhanallah, everything is going. You just see the markets, everything is in crazy mode. One little tweet. And we were texting and tweeting all day, nothing happened. So how much power someone has, that's how much influence they also have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us as human beings, insan, what our level is. He tells us in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. And we have honored this human being. In Surat Isra or Bani Israel, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. We have honored this human being, we've carried him on land and on sea. وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. We have given him sustenance of the pure things of this world. وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَفَضَّلْنَاهُمْ عَلَىٰ كَثِيرٍ مِّمَّنْ خَلَقْنَا تَفْضِيلًا. We have given this human being a status over the vast majority of the creation. That is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling the malaika, that you don't even have a clue what this human being is going to be. How far they're going to go. You think you've seen fasad. You think you've seen bloodshed. On the other side, you think you're righteous. You're claiming that you're going to praise me. وَنَحْنُ نُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِكَ وَنُقَدِّسُ لَكَ. The malaika were telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala That you're creating such a creation that will cause mischief and shed blood. And we are praising you all day, we're worshipping you all day, we're so pure, we don't disobey you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was also telling the malaika that I'm creating a creation that will display such a level of obedience that you haven't even understood that level of obedience yet. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, there is a lengthy hadith to this as well, but just to make it short, there was clay taken from various parts of the world, and we already went into the details of the nuclei of the clay. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He made it rain on this earth for 40 years. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma, he states, this is in the Tafseer ibn Abbas, it's one of the very early tafsir that was written, and in those manuscripts, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it rain for 40 years. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent massive horses, they trampled on this earth, on the clay, made it very, very soft. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent fire from the sky, from the heavens, and that burned. When it hit the clay, it burned the clay and brought out the very nuclei of the clay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the nuclei of the clay in the Quran. Min salsalim min hama'im masnoon. Which is difficult, it says clay, but from the nuclei of the clay, the very elements that make the clay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created us human beings from this very nuclei of the clay. And that nuclei was taken from various parts. That is why we have different colors, our skin may have different colors throughout the different world. Throughout the world you go. But that nuclei of the clay is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala began our creation with. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created him and left him there. Allowed him to be there for a very prolonged period of time, some 40 years. In that time, Iblis used to come, he would look at the structure of Adam alayhi salam, and he was always asking himself that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, with great pride, told the malaika that He's going to create such a creation. What is this creation? What is this human being? So Iblis or Shaitan, he went into Adam alayhi salam's body. This was before the ruh was there. And went through all of the various holes, the nose and the ears and the eyes, went everywhere, the mouth. Check the whole body. What is so special about this creation that's not special about me? How this human being is. What's making him so special? Even Shaitan was able to gauge that what this human being is. What can they do that I cannot do? He was a jinn. Shaitan or Iblis, he's a jinn. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the decision to send the ruh into Adam alayhi salam. And when the ruh came into Adam alayhi salam, it was blown from the very top. And Adam alayhi salam, he was created in a position. And when that ruh came into his body, came into his eyes, he opened his eyes. When it came into his nose, he sneezed. Kind of had the sneeze of the nose. When it came the ruh into the mouth, the malaika, there was an angel there, told him to say Alhamdulillah. At that time, the tongue said Alhamdulillah. And then the rest of the ruh was blown into him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that He told the malaika or the angels, وَنَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي فَقَعُوا لَهُ سَاجِدِينَ. When I blow my ruh into this human being, then do sajda to this human being. But Adam alayhi salam, when the ruh was blown into him, he did sajda to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then he raised his head, he thanked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now all of the malaika were gathered. They believed that, this creation is only going to cause mischief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in these very early ayat, Surat Baqarah, when we read the Quran in sequence, these are the ayat that we come to. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to put this into our minds, in our hearts, that all human being, don't underestimate yourself. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. We taught this human being, we taught Adam alayhi salam. وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاء. We taught Adam alayhi salam al-asma'a kullaha, the names of everything. What is the names of everything. What is in a name? And sometimes we don't really stop to think. What kind of names were taught to Adam alayhi salam? Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give all of us the tawfiq to practice His deen. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم نور قلوبنا بالقرآن وزين أخلاقنا بالقرآن ونجنا من النار بالقرآن وادخلنا في الجنة بالقرآن. اللهم اجعل القرآن لنا في الدنيا قرينا وفي القبر مونسا وعلى الصراط نورا وفي الجنة رفيقا ومن النار سترا وحجابا. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.